You are already dead.
Good morning everyone, welcome to Off the Cuff, a review series that I'm going to be doing for games that I've actually finished on the channel, as you might have guessed. Well, I might do it for games that I haven't done, but at the minute we're going to do it for games that I have actually completed. Today we're going to be doing The Sims Bustin' Out, a magnificent game full of no issues in the... No, I'm lying, there's loads of issues in the slightest. The Sims Bustin' Out is a goal-based? Well, officially goal-based. The Sims game. It came out on the GameCube and the PS2, if I remember correctly, because I'm fairly sure my partner has it on the PS2 somewhere. We played it on the GameCube. We actually played it on the GameCube emulator, because my computer's there now, because my capture card doesn't work. At least, it doesn't work anyway. It is actually my first, well, it was, when I first got it. It was my first foray into the Sims franchise. I was at college, 17, probably something like that. I'm 31 now, so 14 years ago, something like that. My friends came over with this for the GameCube, and we played it a little bit, and it was like, this is great. I couldn't borrow it from them because it was from someone else, so I purchased it, I think, and then I started playing with it. And I really enjoyed it, to be honest with you. I didn't actually like the first Sims game, because it just didn't have goals, and I was like, this is weird, it's not as good. Plus, it didn't look as good, because it was isometric, and the Sims Bustin' Out, I think, was the first 3D proper one. The original Sims on console might have been the first 3D one. Not entirely sure. Anyway, the whole process of the game is where you start from meager beginnings. You're at your mother's house, and serial thief Malcolm comes and steals your scooter. You then do some goals at your mum's house, like going for a pee, having some food, and having fun. And that eventually opens up the scooter for you to go. And then you go over and do a career. Each career requiring a certain amount of friends, which is the worst. Just the worst. It's the worst mechanic in The Sims. I'm glad they ditched that in The Sims 3. With only one career requiring that, and I think that's a business one, which made sense. There we are. Anyway, yes. And then you would stop. You'd live in a place, then you'd have to leave, because the bus driver said, oh, you're on the wrong line. Even though it's taking you to work anyway, but whatever, then there we are. The game itself is okay. It's okay. It's kind of full of loads of graphical bugs. The frame rate is just atrocious sometimes. Even with just a few Sims on screen, it's just atrocious. The graphics are okay, I guess. They're not particularly great for the GameCube. I mean, you've got things like a Wind Waker, which looks magnificent. I suppose, I mean, really, you can't really fault the graphics for that, really, considering I suspect The Sims Bustin' Out probably has more things going on in the background. By the way, there is my face, so I'm just looking at that. Yeah, I think The Sims Bustin' Out has more AI to think about, considering it has to load and simulate everyone's day-to-day actions. But I don't know. I didn't code on. It might just be really bad. I didn't code on a GameCube. Sorry, so it just might be a really bad port. I don't know. There's loads of bugs. There's quite a few. Well, I mean, there's not that many. Well, okay. Compared to things, shall we say, like Ocarina of Time. Ocarina of Time has bugs that are not particularly noticeable. You would say something like, is the what's it called? The Infinite Sorgless. Is that really a bug when you think about it? Because how many people would have actually gone to that and say wrong warp? How many people have actually encountered that? With wrong warp, none really. I don't think anyone would have died the moment the frame that would have loaded the other side. But anyway, I digress. There's a few bugs. One of them notably is the bus not properly leaving when you load in. The sound happens, but the animation doesn't happen. Another one is if you load the game when you are at work, the next hour you will come back which is actually quite a good exploit, but it takes forever to load and save, so that might not be okay. You will also... people at work, Sims at work, if you leave the lot when they're at work and come back after they would have come back, they stay for another day, not gaining the extra money, because it's not about being paid per hour, unlike The Sims 3. You are paid for that whole time. I don't think they'd add that kind of thing, because in The Sims 3 you can do overtime. You can't do it on The Sims Bustin. It's very simplistic kind of then. You obviously, like any other normal Sims game, you'll go and put up all of your skills. By the end of the game, you actually have 10 in all of the skills. Some of the careers are pretty hilarious. The movie career is pretty good, and also the most lucrative. 1,200 simoleons for the entire day, I think, which is okay. You can get married in the game as well, but you have to get the people you want to marry from the free street, the multiplayer. So you just make a one-person family, invite them over, woo them, etc., etc. You pretty much get it done in like a day. It's fine. Just take a day off and you'll be fine. While we're there, actually, let's talk about the multiplayer. It's great in one respect, because the multiplayer is... my cousin and I used to play multiplayer, and it used to, like, he got here at 10 and it used to be 5 o'clock in no time. Because we just had so much fun with it. You could change between Sims. Eventually, first few places, Dudley's trailer and Mimi's house, you would only control one Sim. And I'm not entirely sure whether it's the one after that or the one after that you'll get another Sim. I think it's actually you go to Dudley's or Mimi's, and then the one after that you get another Sim to play as. But really, you don't have to do anything there, because playing as them, there's no reason for you to make them go to work. They can't get fired. They're not... like, their friends don't count to anything at all, so your best bet really would be to just talk to them, get 100, get their emote or whatever they're wearing. Because when you meet someone for the first time, you get what they're wearing as a unlockable, and you can then, when you load up the game, load up your save, you can redesign your sim. You can't redesign your sim through dresses or anything like that. You have to do it from the start of the game, at the start of your loading of your save. And then if you get to friends with the people, which is after 50 in relationship score, you get their specific emote. There's an emote for everyone. How many people are there? I'd say there's probably about 50 people. No, I don't think there's that many. 34 people, I'd say, something like that. And you get 34 emotes for every time you get people as friends. Some goals require... oh, did I even talk about goals? I don't think I even talked about goals. Yeah, you have goals to do in specific lots. Like I said, in Mum's house, you have to get your fun up, go for a pee and something else. Mimi's house, you have to go to Dudley's house to make sure he's okay. But he's not okay because there's all over the floor, which you have to clean up. Which is okay. I mean, it doesn't take that long. No, actually, no, sorry. No. Mimi's house, from Mimi's house, and you go to Dudley's house visiting, you have to use sign language on him, which is flipping the burn, please. Somewhere else, you have to go back to Mimi's house and be like, check up on her. And there's like rubbish all over the floor, and that's fine. There's just specific goals tailored to specific areas. Like there's a beachside property, which is a love nest, I would say you could call it. You have to woo like 2 people and sleep with them there. What else? In the movie star area, Tinsel Bluffs, which is the best place. You have to be in Malcolm's movie. There's many different ways you can do it. Actually, you can hold a part. You have to hold a party. Many of them require holding a party. You can either make him really happy by having a band where you have to sing and play the guitar or some sort of music and make sure he's really happy, or you could just be his really good friend. I was his really good friend because it's really easy. At the gym, which is weird, you're living at a gym, but there we are. You have to do a party where you have to do a party where you get more people to join. You need like 5 people to join, something like that. So the whole goal about that, yeah. I'm actually kind of annoyed now because I've forgotten entirely where I was going with the goal bit. Oh yeah, emotes, yes. And some of them are based on emotes. Like, some goals are based on emotes. You have to go to Mimi's, like Dudley's house and get the sign language and all that stuff. But you have to befriend Mimi to get a sign language to do that. Which is okay. And I pretty much explain everything what happens in The Sims Bustin' Out, really. As a whole, and an introduction and a not an introduction, and as a part of the Sims franchise at that particular time of the year, 14 years ago, I would say, maybe 2003. It was good. It was a very nice welcome change thing because The Sims 1 you can get on console, which is the same goal-based kind of thing. I never actually completed it because my save bugged out, unfortunately. But it's pretty much the same thing. However, this one's just got better graphics, as much as you can get better graphics, really. There are a few bugs, sure. That's what I was talking about. Multiplayer and multiplayer careers. Yes, multiplayer career are awful. They are legitimately awful because they're silly. They're very silly. Like the computer programmer one, you eventually become a hacker at the end. I was like, that's not a computer programmer. That's really good. Some of them are just really bad and really poorly thought out. I think all of them have the same money at the end, though. I don't really know. I haven't really played multiplayer in forever. Me and my partner played for a bit, but unfortunately it messed up. So I couldn't use footage. It was rubbish. But overall, I really quite like The Sims Bustin' Out, despite its obvious flaws. Like, the frame rate is atrocious. Even on the emulator, you can't really do anything about that. Some of the mechanics are just awful. You have... with skills, you also have... What would you put it? Attributes? Depending on what astrological sign you pick. So you've got outgoing, neat, activity, niceness, and something else. Yeah, whatever. It doesn't matter. And there's one particular annoyance that's related to activity. If you have 4 or less activity, you will take forever to get up. And that's a mechanic that was awful. Generally, putting how well you take a joke and all that stuff as niceness and outgoingness is awful. It's not great, and I'm glad they got rid of most of that kind of stuff in later series. I'm not entirely sure if The Sims 2 they did that. I don't know. It's been a while since I played Sims 2 because it's rubbish compared to The Sims 3. Yeah, I would, if you're a fan of The Sims, I would at least give it a shot. You can, obviously you could just get it on emulator if you want, that's what I did, but for video games, it's somewhere around here, there it is. On the GameCube or on the PS2, a pittance now, I probably think. So, thanks for watching this off the cuff. It was a bit higgledy-piggledy because, like I said, it's off the cuff, and I don't really, sometimes I lose my train of thought, and that's just me. But there we are. Thanks for watching. Bye.
Your friends will abandon you.